Chapter 1731. Hearing this voice, Tingling Qingshan's liver and gallbladder were cracked. This really confirmed the scariest assumption in his heart. That man has been here all the time and never left. And from the beginning to the end, he didn't hear this person's breathing or heartbeat. How did he do it? Moreover, he slapped his shoulder twice, which proved that he was close to his body at least twice, but he didn't even hear anything, not even his footsteps. At this moment, he subconsciously wanted to turn around and throw out the shuriken, but he was a little worried deep in his heart. After all, he only has 6 swords in his hand. 4 of them have been thrown out just now, and now the 2 in his hand are the last 2. What if these 2 are also on the empty target? The opponent is right in front of him, and he will never give himself a chance to dig out other weapons. In other words, the sword in these 2 hands is his last chance. If you use it rashly, you may put yourself in a situation where you can never recover. Tingling Qingtian didn't dare to act rashly, so he could only swallow his saliva nervously, and said with some humility, "You gentlemen, you may have misunderstood. I am not a ninja, just a shuriken fan." "Oh," Alex smiled playfully and asked him, "You are not a ninja, so what are you doing with me?" Tingling Qingtian hurriedly said, "I didn't follow you, I just finished my dinner at night, come here to practice my shuriken." Alex sneered and said, "Do you think I will believe such a bad reason?" Tingling Qingtian said innocently, I am telling the truth," Alex sneered. "If I guessed correctly, you should be a member of the Takahashi family. I now give you a chance to survive and tell me everything exactly. If what you say satisfies me, then I can consider letting you go." Hearing this, Tingling Qingtian knew in his heart that denying was no longer useful. And blindly denying it was likely to be a disaster. Therefore, he can only cower and say, "Sir, I say everything. I was indeed sent by the Takahashi family, and they asked me to follow you all the way from Beijing to here." Alex asked again, "What is the plan of the Takahashi family? Do they want you to follow me like this?" Tingling Qingtian hurriedly said, "No, Mr. Takahashi Maki meant that we should follow you first, and wait for his instructions. He is now negotiating cooperation with a big family from Japan, so he doesn't want to be out of the question, but wants to wait until after the cooperation is finished." "Let us kill you then," Alex nodded and asked, "What is the origin of you 4 ninjas?" Tingling Qingtian said truthfully, "We are all members of the Tingling family, and the Tingling family is one of the major ninjutsu families in China." Alex asked him with interest. "Since your family is a relatively large ninjutsu family in China, why should you follow the Takahashi family as running dogs?" Tingling Qingtian hurriedly said, Actually, the main reason is that in the post-war years, ninjas and samurai have become less and less important. At the same time, the underworld is also rapidly rising, and they are equipped with very powerful heat weapon, so our living space is even smaller. In addition to being good at ninjutsu, the entire family has no other skills. It is not good at doing business and macheting money, so it can only survive by attaching to the big family." Speaking of this, Tingling Qingtian begged, "Sir, what I told you is all the truth, can you let me go?" Alex smiled and said, "Don't worry, I still have questions to ask, you can leave after answering all of my questions." Tingling Qingtian's mind turned slightly, and he asked, "Sir, can I turn around and talk?" "I'm so nervous with my back facing you like this," Alex said calmly. "Yes, turn around." Tingling Qingtian turned around slowly, and when he turned around, the shuriken in his hand had not been put down. At the same time, his toes slid gently on the ground, seemingly nothing unusual, but Alex still noticed the other's intentions. Tingling Qingshan's shoes are special ninja shoes, which are not only light and quiet, but more importantly, they hide a short-edged dagger in the sole. The short-edged switch is a slider with a special pattern on the sole. Normal walking and running will not trigger the shoe sole slider to eject the short blade. Only after the slider completes the S-shaped movement, will the short blade eject mechanism be triggered. This kind of weapon is very common in the era of cold weapons. Even in Japan 100 years ago, it was also a necessary hidden weapon for many people to walk the rivers and lakes. In many film and television works, this hidden weapon has also been shown, but the principle is not revealed. In fact, this S-shaped slider is equivalent to the simplest mechanical code. Others don't know how to trigger it, but the user himself knows it. Obviously, you can be surprised at any time.